We already know about Project 06, everyone. It's Deep Dive Zone, a Sonic review series for fans of all shapes and sizes. I'm your host, Devin, joined as always by my co-conspirators, Lauren and Bruce, and additionally, we have unlocked another party member in the form of our good friend, Kayla. How you doing, Kayla?
I'm doing all right. I'm actually really excited to talk about Sonic 06. Yeah, I think that's all I've got to say about
Is this
that.
a situation when you, like, unlock the boss as a party member and they suck compared to when they were a boss?
Wow, that is so rude. Although, did we fight Kayla as a boss?
I mean, I've been fighting Kayla since the day I knew them.
I've been
Or the day
arguing
we
with
started
Kayla
dating,
about Sonic since
right.
middle school.
Or the day we started dating. I don't know. Either way.
Are you projecting because of the Cyberpunk campaign? Is that what's going on here?
No, that's fighting with someone else.
I think he's bragging about having a romantic partner. Anyway, yes, Kayla's gotten mentioned to on this show before because they're an accomplished Sonic fan of their own, and they wanted to join us for the hellish, painful, no-good journey that is the Dark Age of Sonic the Hedgehog. And do we have to clarify what Dark Age means?
It's all shit.
Maybe?
Well, here's the thing, though. It's
Okay, no,
not.
it's
It's a
not.
mixed
No,
bag
it's
in the
not.
series that is already a
Yeah.
mixed bag.
Yeah.
It's the extra mixed bag part.
But it's the era I grew up with, so I
Yeah,
do have like
so-
a weird fondness of this time.
I mean, it's probably similar to my fondness for an era of Pokemon that was probably also, like, not very good. A lot of Generation 6. So
Like, when you put it that way, I understand completely.
I think I would characterize it by the fact that Sonic Team's mainline output took a bit of a dive here, at least in terms of public perception, because, as we've established, Heroes, much as you two don't like it,
it
was
popular
received decently, and
for
Shadow
some reason.
was received poorly, but you think that could just be a fluke. When Sonic 06 comes out, nope,
No. This was the new norm for a little while.
Yeah, because then Sonic and the Secret Rings comes out, and it's a motion control nightmare. Sonic Unleashed comes out, and it's definitely better, but it's still Sonic as a werewolf.
It's definitely more mixed.
Sonic and the Black Knight comes out. Now we have Sonic with a sword for reasons, and it's like, what? They're just throwing things at the wall at this point.
They were definitely experimenting, trying to like.
And, you know,
It almost
something-
feels like they wanted to put Sonic in a new direction, but they just couldn't get anything to stick.
They wanted to put Sonic in way too many new directions.
Well, yeah, it's a perfect example of throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks.
Yeah, exactly. And that all really started here in 2006. We already covered one game from 2006 because it was Sonic Riders, but there was two other games that year: Sonic 06 and Sonic Rivals. I think that was 2006. Maybe that was that 2007. Who cares? Anyway, and Sonic 06 is of course famous for having the worst development cycle in the series history.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Or-
it's pretty well known for that.
Okay. I should be clear, because there is a couple reasons we're covering this. Because a lot of people are going to say, why aren't you doing Project 06? And Project 06 is going to be the proverbial sword of Damocles hanging over this whole thing. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
One, Project 06 isn't finished, doesn't have everything. Two,
Right.
Sonic 06 sucks in ways that are often funny. Three, it is important to know why this game failed to know what Project 06 does well. And four, some of you are ignorant little freaks who don't realize how bad the original 06 is, and which parts of it are so screwed up that not even a fan remake can fix them.
What is it? It's the ambition and passion.
And I should clarify, I say this is the worst development. This is the worst development for Sonic Team specifically, because nothing can top Sonic Extreme nearly killing Mark Cerny.
Yeah, admittedly, that was when you said that kind of popped into my head.
He was given a few months to live. I'm glad he's not dead.
Sure.
And I guess Sonic Boom had the whole completely tear your game apart, putting it on the Wii U thing, but
Yes, go toil in the Wii U mines.
the point is, it resulted in the most unbalanced, unoptimized Sonic game ever made, relative to its size, buyer base, influence, etc. You don't get bad games like this often anymore. Bad games nowadays are just bland.
Yeah, I'm kind of part of me kind of misses bad games like this. Bad games are really just bland now.
Yeah.
We don't get any Sonic 06s or Never Deads anymore. I'm probably the only person here who even knows what Never Dead is.
You know, weirdly, I
Sounds
just
familiar.
recently watched Yahtzee Crowshaw's review of it from like 15 years ago.
That's where I first learned about it. I've played it. It's fun. It's just really bad.
None of this matters. The point is,
I mean, yeah.
let's talk about Sonic 06. And we're starting this week with Sonic Story, of course. We are only covering the first half of it this week because there is a lot to talk about here.
Well, also because we should have done that with both of the adventure games.
If you like, sure. And we all have our various histories with this game, so
Yeah.
and really even playing half a story campaign is exhausting in this game.
It took
Just
me
a
2
little bit.
weeks. It took me 2 weeks, well, partially because of finals.
Well, yeah. And I should clarify, 2 of us are playing on emulators, 2 of us are playing on original hardware, which means that Lauren and Kayla had to deal with the fucking load times. Me and Bruce did not.
Oh,
Part of me-
experience.
Part of me kind of wishes I used a mod or something that could have given me the original load times, because that would have been funny.
Someone did make that mod for our viewers hoping.
Oh, good.
And emulators provide their own host of problems. You're going to see in the video,
yes.
every once in a while there's going to be a screwed up texture, and you can see me hit the F5 key to make it refresh.
For the most part, I probably wouldn't even notice those unless you and Kayla hadn't pointed them out. Other than, like, the non-rendering build.
It's a feature.
But this was a new era for Sonic. This was the HD era. We've got the new Sega logo that doesn't say Sega anymore. It just has some guy going, Sega.
Yeah,
Man.
it's a weird logo.
It's a strange logo. This entire era for gaming is just kind of a mess, but especially... Sega was really struggling in this era.
Yeah.
Actually, the entire Japanese industry was struggling.
Well, you know, I don't mind the title screen of Sonic 06. They really wanted this to be, you know, the big, like, blockbuster
like,
Sonic game.
Yeah, it's the big blockbuster game, exactly. It feels like a big blockbuster, even...
You've got just the symphonic, you know, music. It's so pretty. It's just nature on the title screen.
Yeah, the title screen is an interesting first impression because, okay, yeah, first of all, you've got that bold title, you've got the scene, you've got the music, which is pretty good, but then it has this super short loop for some reason. You're like, that's kind of odd.
It's a sign.
Like the music loop or the video loop?
The music, it doesn't play the whole main theme for some reason on the title screen.
it is really strangely short.
Yeah, I suppose. And Lauren brings up a good point. This is the worst named Sonic game of all time.
Yeah, that's why fans have had to shorten it to Sonic or to rename it to Sonic 06, or some people still insist on Sonic Next Gen, which is stupid.
Yeah, because it was next gen 5 generations ago. What?
Yeah, it was
Something
Next
like that?
Gen almost 20 years ago.
Well, more than 20 years ago, if you're saying that next gen is the Xbox 360.
I mean, Next Gen for Sonic.
The 360 is retro now.
I know, the 360 is 20 years old. I feel ancient.
Yeah. But yeah, don't name your franchise sequel the same thing as the very first entry. That's stupid.
At least with reboots, I can almost let it get away with that. Like Tomb Raider, fine. Sonic 06 being just a random ass Sonic game that is questionably canon.
It is canon. It's fully canon.
Okay. Yeah, it is canon, but we'll talk about.
Well, and it was a soft reboot the same way Sonic Adventure and later Sonic Unleashed would be, but that barely means anything because continuity is a Gordian knot of suffering.
Right. So the term soft reboot could have anything of like 9 different definitions depending on who you ask.
Yeah. But unless you guys have something to say about the menus, let's get into the actual cutscenes.
Sure.
There's certainly menus.
Yeah, they function.
Menus.
They function. They might be the most functional part of the game.
Ha! Okay, but so Sonic Story Campaign. We begin with a lengthy CG cutscene because that was this
Final Fantasy cutscene.
Yep,
Yeah,
everybody.
Seriously, like it took a while for you to be like, okay, where's the Sonic thing? There are no Sonic things.
Yeah,
I would not recognize this.
The first like 3 minutes feels like I'm watching like like a cutscene from Final Fantasy 15.
I remember seeing this way back in 2000 something or other on the Sonic Central website, and yeah, I was like, what is this? Is this Sonic? You know, it's like you test yourself to see how long you can go before you can tell this is a Sonic game.
The quality is pretty good though, I must say. It's
the
not
quality is
bad.
excellent.
It's Blur Studio, the same guys behind the Shadow CGs, so...
Yeah, and the quality is quite good.
And eventually the
Just, like-
movies.
Right, yeah.
That's part of the thing that, like, people want there to be a Sonic 06 movie, and I think that's silly, but also I kind of get it.
Oh, I totally get it. I think it'll be really funny.
But yes, we are beginning here in the country of Soleanna, in a very Venice-ass city.
Yeah, we're in Italy, folks.
We're in fake Italy, Sonic World Italy.
We're in Sonic Italy. Sidley, if you would.
And we're starting with the main character of this game, Princess Elise.
It's everyone's
Main
favorite
character,
unit.
did you call them?
I mean, she might as well be.
I didn't think of that, but I guess so.
Can you name any
might as well
significant...
It does. The whole story does kind of like circulate around.
It
Elise in a
revolves
way.
around Elise, yeah.
She's the one with character
okay.
conflict. Sonic is just a frigging force of nature in this story.
Kind of reminds me of a certain show we reviewed like 8 months ago.
This is the Sonic X game. That'll become increasingly obvious.
That's
Sonic's
an
a side
awful
character in his
comparison.
own fucking game.
Anywho, Princess Eclipse here is doing some sort of religious festival when,
Is it religious?
Yes.
I mean,
okay.
they call it the Soleanna Festival. It's dedicated to Solaris. Solaris is their god.
I guess, yeah, fair enough. I never put that together. I also don't.
It's all right. She doesn't care either because she's too busy daydreaming. She has this vision of a fire monster destroying everything.
I've done religious ceremonies. I would probably be daydreaming.
Did you have
Maybe
an
not
Iblis
about-
vision at your bar mitzvah?
I was about to say, likely not about the apocalypse.
I almost called it a
Why?
bat mitzvah. I respected you enough to remember the right word.
I appreciate it.
So yeah,
I was gonna say there's one like character in the background that cutscene's probably so pointless, but you know those one enemies in Elden Ring that like have the white blood can get their mask?
oh the Albinarchs.
I was about to
Yeah,
say, I was about to say
looks
Barf
like
Eater.
one of no, he looks like one of those. Like,
Does he?
He does. He's got kind of a barf drinker thing going on.
Fascinating. I'm gonna have to see that at some point after we record.
yeah, I'll try to grab an image for you, but yeah,
Alright,
that's
cool.
the first thing I thought of. Like I was watching. Well, it was before I actually got to play the game, and that opening cutscene was playing over and over again. 'Cause if you don't if you don't press like to play on the main screen at the right time, then you know that opening cutscene plays, and so I just keep seeing this priest guy over and over again. I'm like, he looks like one of the enemies from Elden Ring, and I can't get it out of my head ever since.
It's really funny.
That's
And
beautiful.
they do bring up a good point because the photorealism look the humans here have, you know, cutscene,
look
context dependent, whatever, but it gets so weird when the action starts.
Yeah, because there's one certain human that has to be in the game.
The festival gets attacked by this game's version of Dr. Eggman, and ew, why do you look like that?
My headcanon is
But I don't like it.
my headcanon is that's not the real Eggman. That's a imposter.
Oh, this is some dude dressed as Eggman.
Yeah, it's an Eggman cosplayer.
It's
it's
really
like
funny.
Sonic Man.
It's like that's Eggman,
Oh
man.
my gosh, yes. When I first saw this design, I'm like, I guess it's not terrible. But the more and more I look at it throughout
Yeah.
the game, the more I decide, no, it is terrible, actually.
No, it's awful. I hate it. It is. Ugh.
Yeah, his proportions are weird and gross. The fact that they decided to redesign Eggman around the humans instead of designing humans that fit in with Eggman is so baffling to me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that would have been
And
one thing.
so I would like to point out, Adventure 1 sort of had somewhat realistically proportioned humans, but they were all still anime.
Yeah, they had anime face.
Yeah.
Nobody has anime face in this game.
Exactly. Even if they just went with anime design instead of realistic, Eggman wouldn't stand out. A regular Eggman wouldn't stand out.
I mean, not more than anything else, because like Sonic
Sure,
X,
exactly.
he was
Sonic
different
X.
from the rest, but that made sense because he wasn't,
Yeah.
raised on Earth.
Right. I never questioned it in Sonic X.
He doesn't even wear goggles or clip-on shades anymore.
Yeah, I must say the worst thing in this game is when you see Eggman's eyes. It's wrong. It's just wrong.
Randomly, he just like occasionally they decide, oh, you get glasses now, and I hate it.
It,
That means you should
Yeah.
have He should have
got-
voids for eyes.
He should have that would be if they did do that, if they like gave you an intentional look at Eggman's eyes, but they made it so that like, oh, he has the black sclera from the comics and the red pupils.
That'd be cool as hell.
Yeah, okay, I would appreciate that. That's true.
I mean,
Yeah, that'd be the only time I'd appreciate.
I don't actually want that to be canon, but if they did that just for dramatic effect, I would still appreciate it.
Yeah, no, it's like whatever. That would be cool. But
That being said, Sonic fares a bit better because he looks exactly the same in the CG.
Yeah.
He looks great.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Sonic looks fine. I like Sonic's model here at least.
Yeah, and this is the most like Sonic he ever looks or feels in this game because, you know, his movement is full of life. He jumps in and is bashing all these robots doing a good job, and they even do this funny little moment where one of them is like dazed and he just beep with his foot and pushes it off.
I'm so proud of
Yeah. This is the most most like Sonic we'll see in this entire game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Elise looks at him and sees some other guy. Who's he? Who knows? Why does she see him? Well, that we'll learn. But why does she see Crisis City? I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. Oh yeah, I should mention, Eggman is here because he wants Elise's Chaos Emerald and some kind of hidden power in her.
But she just conveniently has a Chaos Emerald for some reason.
It's not a convenience. It's a frigging mess, actually.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh my god, that's right, it is.
I mean, like, in other stories, when the Chaos Emeralds get scattered and people just happen to have them, that's kind of weird. But in between games, I don't mind if someone happens to have a Chaos Emerald because any amount of time could have passed.
You could just assume she found it. Yeah, it's that's not a big deal to me.
Yeah.
But so Sonic grabs Elise and runs away, and they get missiles shot at them. Any one of those could easily kill the Princess, Eggman. You gotta be careful.
No, she just lose some rings.
But hey, that other hedgehog guy from her vision is on a roof watching all this, and he's like, I found you, Iblis Trigger.
I'd like to point out also the English voice acting is terrible.
I hate the English dub of this game.
The Japanese dub isn't that much better, but it's more bearable.
The Japanese dub is of comparable quality to other Japanese Sonic stuff.
Yeah, it's not amazing, but it is bearable.
The English dub feels like it has no direction at all most of the time. Oh, and while we're on the subject of English voice acting, not going to happen in this game probably, but if we praise the acting of a particular actor, not praising their actions outside of their work.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course.
I know that seems obvious, but just we haven't been dealing with English dubbing for a while.
Yeah, for some people, that's not going to be obvious.
Anywho, so we run into the first in-game cutscene. We're still not a gameplay yet. In-game cutscene, and wow, talk about degrading quality.
I'm gonna say something not really controversial here, but the last generation in-game cutscenes look better.
It is so true. Not necessarily, well, even the quality of the models possibly, but certainly the animation.
The animation definitely, but we'll I mean, Devin, do you want to mention why the animations are janky now?
I can talk about this, but I want to clarify that yes, technically, yes, the models have more fidelity, but that doesn't mean the art direction is quite right.
No, exactly. The art direction felt more consistent, even in like Sonic Heroes and Shadow, where I don't have
a problem with how those games cutscenes look.
They look solid.
Yeah, but in this, you know, it's like something between lighting, materials. At least looks like a department store mannequin. Sonic looks like a dude in a mascot costume.
He dies.
Made out of fucking taffy.
My brother did
like
say that Sonic looked like Mickey Mouse.
Oh my god, he does! I didn't even
Mouse
think
costume.
of that! That's incredible!
Whenever any character in this game moves, it looks like a corpse on strings.
Yeah.
It's like overacted a little bit.
It
definitely is.
It reminds me of the overacted lip movements from Adventure 1.
Yeah, except that was all keyframed.
Yeah,
but
that was all keyframed.
Sonic, okay, he looks like he has the material of taffy. He also looks like he got put through the taffy puller for this game. He's so lanky, but
He's very
yes,
lanky.
a big part of that is that this game, like SA2, used motion capture for cutscene animations.
That's right,
and
SA2 was as well.
SA2 definitely looked weird at points. Here it comes across so much worse.
It comes off almost uncanny in this game. SA2, it generally works decently,
it's so floaty. I don't know why. It's like everything is moving through molasses.
Yeah, that's a good description.
Which is also true about the gameplay, which I don't know if that's an accident or what.
Everybody controls so slowly in the game.
They saw the cutscenes and were like, shit, we need to make this make sense. We need to play the cutscenes.
And like Lauren said, it gives Uncanny Valley moving corpse vibes because nobody expresses with their face.
Yeah, most characters tend to just have the most blank expression for most of the cutscene.
And that's apart from the fact that the faces themselves don't look good. I don't know what's going on with the mouths in this game. The teeth are set so deep inside them. It looks creepy. So yeah, it looks bad. And let's keep that there so that we don't have to talk about it again. We are obviously not moving at the fastest of paces here, but that's the point of only doing half the story. So, Sonic and Elise run away, only to completely fail because Eggman kidnaps Elise by distracting Sonic with his boring-ass robot designs.
Elise is like, why are you helping me, Sonic? And Sonic is like, no special reason. But no, it's 100% because Eggman attacked. Like, he's just interested in facing Eggman. That's true.
Oh yeah, if we're some other, like, supervillain, Sonic wouldn't even bother showing up.
Eggman's new egg carrier design, I'm not really a fan of.
Not a fan of his Eggmobile design either.
Yeah, well, you mentioned his boring-ass robot designs. All of Eggman's stuff seems very sterile.
They wanted this to be the serious Sonic game, and that means you can't have fun, quirky Badnik designs. But, yes, Elise throws her blue Chaos Emerald to Sonic and gets kidnapped. Oh, wonder what that ding sound is.
Eggman is not really that great in this game, but he does have some good lines here and there. I like when Sonic gets the Chaos Emerald, Eggman is just like, well, it's only a matter of time before it's mine. Until then, you can hold it on to it for me.
Yeah.
That's a good line.
And Sonic does tell Elise to hang on, and he's like, I'll come get you, and she's like, I know, and she clasps her hands together like she's so sure it's gonna happen. Why? You don't fucking know this guy.
You just met this hedgehog.
There is evidence later that people know of some like fast-moving creature that's vaguely heroic.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I do like to imagine at this point Sonic pretty well known.
Well, the existence of Sonic Man would imply that he's well known.
Yeah.
Sonic Man is a crucial plot element.
Unfortunately, he might actually be a crucial core element.
Anywho, the egg carrier flies off, and Sonic stands there watching for a really long time.
Doesn't follow or anything.
What is he waiting for?
There.
Daylight. It's scary to go at night.
For us to remember that this is a game, not a movie.
Yes, indeed. One loading screen later, it's the morning, and Sonic says, "What's Eggman doing? I better investigate."
Let's wait 12 hours before we investigate, Sonic. That's a good idea.
Yep. But hey, it is now that we are introduced to gameplay, half an hour in.
Oh my god.
And we are introduced via this game's awful, awful hub worlds.
Oh boy.
Like, this game fails on so many fronts. I didn't expect it to fail on, like, basic, like, structure. Because, like, I feel like it's 101. You're starting a video game, you start it in the middle of the action when you go and get into gameplay. In Adventure 1, you had a boss battle. In Adventure 2, you just had actual stage play. And Sonic was really fast-paced.
Exactly.
But here it's like, no, start in the hub world.
Everyone's favorite part of a Sonic game, right?
So I would say that you're kind of correct. I would say that, you do this first mission. They want you to do a mission, and I think that's meant to introduce you to controls. It doesn't do a good job. But I agree that it's definitely not starting off with much pacing, is it?
I mean, I wandered around for a good few minutes before I found that mission. Like,
same.
The start of the game is just talking to people.
Oh yeah, this game doesn't tell you what to do most of the time, and that's increasingly going to be a problem.
This game sometimes... Yeah, oh god. This game sometimes feels like it wants to be an RPG, but like a bad RPG.
Yeah, sort of.
I wish there was a way to make the mini-map bigger so you can actually see where the
zoom it out,
are.
It would either be nice to either zoom it out.
That option.
Yeah, either zoom it out or pull up a bigger version that you can cross-reference.
Yeah.
Or I was gonna say, how in Frontiers, spoilers, how you can mark places to go to.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I don't think I figured out how to do that in Frontiers until like the third island.
Yeah, and that's all with this still being a sectioned off little portion, but you wander around getting a feel for the controls, and you're like, oh, he's slow, and his jumping jerks you to one speed no matter how fast you're going, and you can't jump out of a spin dash.
Oh god, yeah.
Until actual stage gameplay, it was not quite obvious, but yeah, a little weird. I must say there is a certain charm to the fact that they have all these NPCs here with completely pointless dialogue. But I do like the old lady you talk to that's like, wow, I think the blue wind showed up at the festival. Hello, like right in front of you, lady.
Yeah, there's a blue thing, put two and two together.
Yeah.
No, Sonic's just a guy.
Yeah,
apparently.
Admittedly, if they don't see him running around fast, why would they think?
Yeah.
Yep. So, you wander through the streets until eventually you run into a cutscene, and Sonic meets up with Tails, who is here because reasons.
Why is he here?
Tails kind of goes where Sonic goes, right?
Yeah, but everybody is where Sonic goes in this game for no reason.
I know.
Yeah, well, so like, Sonic shows up. If anything, Tails should have been in that opening cutscene.
They didn't have a model for the CG.
I mean, clearly, yeah. That's a good enough reason.
Too expensive.
Modern game development in a nutshell.
My first impression of Tails in this game was of one of their idle animations where their tails just like slap themselves in the face.
I gotta pay more attention to the animations, apparently.
Yeah, there's going to be a cutscene later on that I would like to point out a certain.
Oh, I think I know which one you're talking about.
Well, yeah.
Oh, wait, so we get to that point.
Yeah, of course.
Well, and this one has a nice animation because, narratively, this cutscene means nothing. It's literally just, hi, Tails, let's go.
Yeah, basically.
But the ending of this animation also involves, Sonic and Tails running off. You can see Sonic clearly stop at the very end of his animation and just stick there.
I've never noticed that.
I don't think I've ever seen that either.
And it's also hilarious because Sonic runs off toward the end, and that's in the direction of the first stage gate, and then you have to turn around to do a mission to get the light dash so that you can actually go back there and into the level.
Which I would like to point out, once again, the game doesn't really explain that you have to go.
No, the game never tells you when you have to do missions to progress and when they're completely optional.
That took me 5 or 10 minutes to figure out how to get the light speed dash, or that I needed how to get it, because I know I needed it.
Yeah, it's...
I think Dev and I have the benefit that played
you
this
both
game.
played it. Well,
I've definitely played the game before.
Okay, I have played this game before about a decade ago.
We've all played it.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it's not stupid, or that we should be remembering this stuff.
No, it is stupid. It is really
stupid as sin.
So let me just say, this game really wants to be an RPG, and in RPGs, you have options to approach things with. So why the heck can I not farm rings very slowly to from the light speed dash rings that I can barely reach from the land? You can't actually keep them. Why? It's so annoying.
And unlock all of the unlockables at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, and it's because they want you to do this first mission for this old man shoemaker.
Very important to the story, apparently.
He wants to give you his custom shoes, and he's apparently been waiting his whole fucking life for it. He acts like you've just changed his life when you agree to do this. And it's also funny, because these are the custom shoes, which you're not going to get any pieces for 2/3 of the game.
I was going to say, I don't even think I grabbed any of the pieces.
Yeah.
Does the light chip not attach to the shoes? I thought it did.
Maybe it does. I don't know. I don't care. No, it doesn't, because Sonic's custom shoes have a unique model when you use them. So those are just the normal shoes he's using that for.
Huh.
Okay, then.
Anywho, in the tradition of Superman 64, the first thing you do in this game is fly through giant hula hoops.
If you're not aware of the true extent of loading screens in this game, by the way, you accept the mission, the game loads, the old man tells you about the mission, the game loads again, and then
you can actually play.
And then when you complete the mission, you get a loading screen, a victory screen, another loading screen, and then you're back to gameplay.
There's so
4
much
loading screens.
This, guys, it's got to load so much.
Yep.
Yeah, all the Sonic fans in 2006 when all their friends were out there playing Mario Galaxy.
So I was also surprised running around this hub. God, to mention this earlier, But I did not realize how badly optimized this game was until there were just
yes.
like too many NPCs on screen, and it started lagging in the HUD. Like, really?
You're playing on PS3, right? Oh, that's the worst version.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
That's the bad version because the PS3 was hard to develop for. So basically, every multi-plat game for the first like 3 years of its existence just sucked on PS3.
Interesting.
Yeah, you basically played on 360 or PC, or you didn't play.
And yes, in this game, you don't find upgrades, you just buy them with rings, which I'm kind of in two minds about. Like, it's more reliable. You know, if you need an upgrade, there's always one place to get it. You don't have to look for it. And certainly I wouldn't like looking for them in these giant-ass hub worlds, but the game also has tons of optional upgrades, and it doesn't ever tell you where or when to get any of them.
I feel like, at this point, the game would have been better off giving you the upgrades in the stage.
I maintain my position from Adventure 1 and 2 that I don't think the Sonic needs upgrades per se.
Oh, no. The upgrades are stupid. No need. Just give him the ability. Just say, like, oh, you can do this now, or this is how you do it.
But hey, it does introduce us to our some wonderful voice clips when you talk to the shopkeeper and he goes, eh.
Hey.
Eh.
There is a certain charm to that.
The NPCs are something special. The old man that we talked to first went like, ooh. So yeah, they all sound weird.
The old man's like contorting himself.
Oh yeah, they wave their arms around like crazy. Their mouths go ba 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 ba. It's terrible. But yes, we get the light dash, which means that we can finally go to the first stage more than half an hour in.
I'd like to point out you can light dash at an angle, and it's really funny.
You can light dash backwards.
That's right. You mentioned that.
Never done. I'm gonna have to try that.
I just remember light dashing at an angle, and I'm thinking it was really funny because every time I light dashed, it was Sonic was like facing at like a 45-degree angle.
Yeah.
And then Tails falls into the water.
Tails kills himself.
I did. I light dashed backwards and then I fell into the water. I don't know if that was on this playthrough, but I've definitely done that.
I said Tails falls into the water.
Oh, ha! Well, Sonic can too, because it doesn't preserve momentum, it just gives you free momentum at the end of a trail.
Oh, God.
I am pretty desensitized to the death of Tails, to be fair. That was a problem since their debut.
Yeah.
We have seen Tails die so many times. We're on like the 1,000th clone or something.
Sonic just keeps cloning Tails. He has like a warehouse just full of Tails clones.
No, he contracts with Rusty Venture.
Yeah. So, some of these stages have what looks like a diegetic entrance, like in Sonic Adventure 1, but instead, they decide to make the stage gates these mirror portals.
Yeah, it's how you can run in Soleanna.
Sonic's jumping into like a pocket dimension.
It's really weird.
Mario 64.
Oh yeah, it's just Mario 64.
But here's the thing, you don't go into them, you just awkwardly rub up against them to get into the stages. And in fact, if you homing attack them, you'll bounce off and not go in.
Yeah, I swear that you could get into through homing attacking, but I homing attacked one of them for like a minute straight and it didn't work clearly.
Anyway, that's not that big a deal, but it's just weird and annoying and shows that this game is a mess. So, enter our first stage, finally. Enter Wave Ocean, Emerald Coast but bad.
I mean, yes, that's true.
Yeah.
But it's not atrocious.
No, it's just kind of mid.
It's not immediately embarrassing, although it is weird, because you start out in an automated spline that leads into this weird water sliding section.
That you can barely control, mind you.
Right.
Yeah, there's extra objects and like parts of loops littering the area. You can't touch them unless you jump into them.
Yeah, and if you jump, I'm pretty sure you'll just die if you don't hit them. Yeah, it cancels your water slide, which is really dumb.
So once you get into actual gameplay, then yeah, you have robots, you have rings, you have the occasional plateau or grind rail to jump on.
It's fairly standard 3D Sonic fare.
But he's painfully slow.
That too.
I do really like the robot groups where there's one like commander robot and you destroy it and then all the other ones blow up. It's very on brand for Eggman, actually.
I think they're like the gold robots from Heroes.
Yeah.
Although I do want to mention, you can't just jump on enemies. You have to homing attack everything in this game.
Right.
I didn't know that. I just always homing attack everything.
I mean, yeah, so do I, but yeah, I think I knew that.
Yeah. Your homing attack has also got this delay, which means you can't just mash the button, which is a little annoying. Although sometimes you have to mash the A button for other reasons. You get into this point near the lighthouse, I guess is the first show off of it.
Yeah.
And you remember the jump panels from SA1 where it clearly marked that you're supposed to keep jumping here?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I wouldn't call those a great mechanic. What I would not like is for them to just remove the panels and expect you to know when to mash the A button.
Yeah, and then if you take even like a split second to not hit the A button, it just kills you.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't really have any problem with it. Like, it was pretty clear.
I think I only did like once or twice where I hit it like just barely too slow.
The first one is fine because you just fall down to the ground mostly.
Right. No,
The second one is worse because you get chased by the whale from Emerald Coast again.
Oh my gosh, the whale's back.
It's a reoccurring character. Let's go.
It must be the same whale, yes.
And it
goddamn better be.
throws a bunch of wooden planks up into the air, and you have to jump off them then, and you don't know that that's a jumping section when you first do it.
Okay, yeah, that did kill me.
Sonic's jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does tell you, to be fair.
Yeah, but
No,
Sonic never
we
shuts the
played
fuck up in this
Saturday.
game about everything, which doesn't necessarily indicate.
Fair.
Also, despite this clearly being a cinematic tool for like cool camera angles, a spectacle, Sonic lands facing the wrong way on almost every surface, meaning you're going to see him floating in midair a lot. But that's... Oh, sorry.
Since we're at that part, I want to know, what was Sonic's plan there when he grabbed onto the orca's fin?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question.
Don't die.
Yeah.
Don't die.
Like,
Fair. Always a good
there
plan.
was a piece of land that he could have landed on right there.
If you
no,
can
no,
apparently
that's the
jump
orca's
that
fin.
far, just jump to the
I
next
was gonna say, I feel like it's a pretty consistent inconsistency of Sonic's jump line in just Sonic media in general.
Yeah. But, you know, that was the tolerable part of the level. The second part is what we do next. Sonic, he jumps on the orca and he grabs onto the fin and it starts going crazy. And he says, Tails, go ahead and get the gate switch so he doesn't get out. And I gotta wonder, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, so what is this place? They're keeping whales in huge enclosures?
Yeah, maybe this is like SeaWorld.
Elise is just running.
Soleanna is just a...
Fuck it, she deserves to be kidnapped by terrorists. SeaWorld is awful.
yeah.
You heard about how they treat Shamu.
Oh, yeah. No, Soleanna is just a big theme park, clearly.
Oh, no wonder Eggman loves it.
It really could be a theme park, like one of those theme parks that are like supposed to be Little Europe or something like that.
Oh,
This is Little Venice, but it's just like you go to the coastline and you just end up in frigging City Escape.
Oh
Well,
god.
it's like the most kitschy Venice. It's like the most generic Venice.
Anyway, yeah, I don't know what the hell is going on with Wave Ocean. Can't they just swim under those buoys at the side? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a net.
you'd
I don't know.
think so. Maybe, we shouldn't think about it.
There's
Yes, what's
so many
important
questions.
is that Tails fucking sucks now.
Oh god, he does.
Mhm.
Does he?
I think so. You switch to him
Not
for a
great.
couple minutes and you see, he's one of the slowest characters in the game on the ground.
They
And-
took away his tailspin also.
No
Okay.
tailspin, no cyclone.
At
For
least let
some
him
reason,
have...
whenever you attack, you go into first person mode.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, in my opinion, bad, but it is weird that Tails has these new dummy rings that they attack with.
I don't get that.
Technically, these started in Heroes in the brief moments you controlled him alone. I didn't like it in that game either. But yeah, he has to throw bombs at people, which feels very awkward.
I do not remember ever controlling Tails on his own in that game.
Wait a minute. Okay, so I have to throw in a bit of lore speculation here. So Tails
Okay.
was able to create a fake Chaos Emerald, right? Maybe
Right.
these are fake rings.
I mean, yeah, why not?
Yes.
Maybe that's what's going on here. It's just a continuation
I mean-
of Tails' research.
Ring and Chaos Energy is probably related somehow.
Probably.
Either way, the targeting is dog shit. The first person controls, when you use that, is dog shit. You don't get a crosshair, no reticle.
Yeah.
You basically want to only be dive bombing things.
I mean, it almost feels like if they wanted Tails to have some sort of ranged attack like that, just give him a gun.
Yeah, just give him targeting like an SA2. Also, don't take any damage because you're not going to know where the real rings are, because They look exactly like the dummy rings, and in fact, this is the only game where rings are physics objects you can push around.
Yeah, and on the PS3, every time you lose a bunch of rings, the game lags a ton.
Oh, that happens on everything, but probably worse on the PS3.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be the worst on PS. Anytime there's any kind of technical glitch that happens everywhere, it's likely going to be the worst on.
But yeah, Tails is not what I would call fun. I mean, I don't mind flying from place to place. I do mind that his flight has a height cap, and you awkwardly you go zoop, and then just bump against an invisible ceiling every time you use it. But you know, getting
super short, but
Oh yeah, it's not very long.
Yeah, getting to the gate switch is not an impossible feat. It's just like bleh.
Well, realistically, I mean, if you're smart about it, you can just skip over all the enemies anyway.
Indeed, but Tails pushes the gate. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say that I do appreciate that they kept the Sonic Adventure 1 style of Tails where they can just kind of skip a bunch of the stage if you're smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, so Tails pushes the gate switch, and it goes not down. It goes to the edge of the water. He can still get under that. But apparently that's good enough for Sonic.
Again, I just want to know, what was Sonic's plan?
Again,
His plan was for it to buck until it throws him over this rock.
Okay.
Leaving Tails behind, fun fact. Tails
yes,
is
indeed.
stuck there now.
Yep.
Tails can fly over there.
Yeah.
Okay, but remember, he can fly for like 3.5 seconds in this game.
Anyway.
I mean, cutscenes that can be for a lot longer.
That's true. If he gets
Anyway.
the cutscene trigger, he knows.
This finally brings us to one of the major mechanics of Sonic's campaign, the Mach Speed sections, also known as dive 5 times here and realize the game doesn't have auto-saving, so you have to watch all the cutscenes and do the missions and go through all the fucking loading screens again.
And this is why I play with an infinite lives mod.
I wish I had a modded PS3, but alas.
Yeah.
Damn, I'd mod your PS3 for you.
Just get good, I guess.
Just get good.
I
So-
didn't actually
Get good.
get a game over
Playing for
here.
Clutch.
But you did get a game over somewhere?
Oh, multiple times.
All right.
Yeah, I think I got lucky this time around. I did die once during the Mach Speed level, but it was only the one. But when I was doing like a little test thing to like make sure the Xbox wasn't gonna like implode on itself, I did die several times at the Mach Speed level.
Yeah, Sonic, he just decides to go way faster.
For some reason.
Yeah. And
Actually, it doesn't even feel like he's going
And
faster.
control worse.
yeah, you can't slow down or stop. You can only turn and not really have analog. You can't homing attack, and you also cannot control your direction in midair. You have Belmont syndrome.
And the jumps are like, you jump once and you get sent like 5 yards.
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah, do not
It's
jump
really bad.
unless you're very sure of what you're about to do, because you'll often just die immediately.
Yeah, this, it's like clearly they wanted to do, flying past, 3D environments at high speed. This Sonic Unleashed this fucking ain't. You are gonna be playing extremely carefully, planning and committing to your jumps, or else fucking up a lot.
There's also that loop-de-loop towards the end where if you don't have Sonic angled correctly, you'll just go flying right off of it.
The end of the first stage has a fucking Kaizo trap.
That is a Kaizo trap. Wow.
You don't hit.
It's great too, because if you smash into something, Sonic will come to an abrupt stop, get up, and then instantly snap back to Mach speed.
Yeah.
Oh, that never happened to me. He would like hit into something, kind of ragdoll a little bit, and then if I didn't collect any rings while he was ragdolling, he would just smack into something else and die.
Yeah, there's two types of hits. There's the run headfirst into a wall and stop hit, and then there's the trip over something and breakdance for 5 seconds hit.
Yeah, I keep getting
yeah.
those.
Yeah, and you can't jump while you're breakdancing, which makes it really easy to take a second hit and die.
Yeah,
Yep.
that'll come up at a later level when we get
Yeah,
to it.
so playtest your games, people.
Wasn't in the budget.
Yeah, I mean, this game did have a budget of like a few Chuck E. Cheese.
This game had a lot of money put into it. It was time and the lack of
5
pre-production.
Chuck E. Cheese tokens. God,
That's a lot.
that's a whole lot. That's like a whole $1. I don't know how much Chuck E. Cheese token costs anymore. I'm not.
I don't
old.
Casino, there's no equivalent conversion.
Guys, who cares about this? Anyway, Sonic, the final section is more jumping, and Sonic, I guess, face plants after that first jump. But he face plants into the goal ring. We get our stat screen, etc. And yes, that is the first stage done. Finally, that felt pretty long for a first stage. But hey, you know, at least we get the plot payoff where Sonic and Tails do the exact same thing Sonic did last night, which is watch the egg carrier fly away and then turn around and go home.
Well, the problem
Princess is in another castle.
yes,
Gotta hire Mario.
but Tails doesn't have the tornado, and it's just the ocean, so I don't know what Sonic's gonna do. I guess run on water for a really long distance.
I mean, I think we've seen him do that before.
He can do it. I believe in him. He just doesn't want to.
Yeah, Sonic's lazy in this game.
But yes, the first stage of this game has absolutely no plot relevance whatsoever. Complete waste of time.
It is just to teach you how to play the game.
I was
Which is
gonna
like,
say it's a tutorial stage.
And it doesn't do a great job at that either.
No, it doesn't.
No.
It's wild.
I do at least love the music of the Mach Speed section, and we'll see that the music of this game is its saving grace.
True.
Yeah, pretty much.
It looks like the princess was moved to another location.
Almost saying your princess is in another.
Yeah, I was surprised to learn playing with the Japanese retranslated mod. This game is translated pretty faithfully, meaning the script is dog shit right from the outset.
Amazing.
Also, where was Eggman before all this? Where did was he waiting for them to run away again? What did he do overnight?
Good question.
The egg carrier ran out of gas.
Maybe his base of operation.
Refuel.
I like that theory. I was gonna guess maybe his base of operations was in Wave Ocean.
No, because we see
Actual explanation is that he was going. He's like, "Oh, this is gonna be great. Sonic's gonna chase me." Then Sonic wasn't
And
there.
then
He's like,
Sonic didn't chase him. He's like, "Damn it!
waited
I'm
for
gonna
him
wait.
to show up.
I'm gonna wait till he sees Sonic."
apparently.
He's sitting on his couch eating out of like a whole tub of ice cream, sobbing, just like Sonic didn't chase me.
Nothing else matters to me in life.
Starts. Elise has to be his therapist.
Oh god.
Therapist is obviously just a bad Nick. Also,
Oh
This
yes.
is all canon now.
Anywho, now you are dumped back at town to do more quote-unquote intel.
yeah.
Gosh, this is the structure of the game. You do a stage, and you wander around the hub world, and you do another stage.
Yeah.
Physical and psychological pain of it pretty quickly.
Well, and what intel amounts to is now you can wander around more territory and just free and do people's laundry for them, I guess. If you talk to some townspeople, they will tell you that a girl got up on a roof for some reason, and the guard's like, I can't climb up there. And it's like, well, how did this child get up there then?
I got the impression they were trying to imply something else about why the girl was on the roof.
No, because when you do talk to her, she says, I heard
Yeah.
Eggman was here, so I wanted to keep lookout from a high place.
She's keeping watch, but like, I spent the entire time thinking, like, God, Sonic's got to get up there. She's gonna jump.
Okay, but just because playing this game makes you want to kill yourself doesn't mean the NPCs want to.
Fair.
Of course, she used the spring to get up onto the roof. She like yeeted her
Yeah, just
body
like
at
Sonic.
it and just
Just
yeah.
like
Exactly.
I guess so. Yeah.
She
You know
knew
what?
how to
Yeah.
slide when Sonic couldn't.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sonic was too stupid to know how to slide until he got an upgrade.
And that's the real reason for
okay.
this. It's to make you go
their
by the slide.
Maybe they're actually brain chips, not shoe chips.
So yeah, this is where I had to look it up because I swore that sliding was just part of the base.
Yeah,
moveset.
so did I.
I was
So
like,
did
is
I.
the game bugged? Are you supposed to be able to get through here? Oh no,
Yeah.
you're not.
It took Kayla, I think, outright telling me what to do.
Well, and here's the hilarious thing. This is to get you to buy the slide. Once you do, though, you don't actually need it, because the way this game's programmed is not that it's a low thing that you can run into but not slide into. It is actually that there's an invisible wall here that is removed when you buy the slide, which means that if you come back here, you can just run through it.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I slid too late, so I like half slid through it and half walked through it.
And I don't think anywhere else in the game is something you need to slide under, so like, what's the fucking point?
That totally seems like it was a rush feature, like there was going to be sliding and then they just tacked it in as one place and didn't put it anywhere else it was planned to be.
It's possible. Sonic Forces and Frontiers never have anything you have to slide under either, so it's just a weird trend.
Okay, why is the slide called anti-gravity?
Yeah, that's another good question.
I guess because you can slide for enough time that it looks like you're floating? I don't know. Everything looks like you're floating in this game, so that's a bad point of reference. Anywho, the entire reason that you're doing all this is because Lord Regis, who is the man in the suit, who is I don't know what he is. Is he a mayor? He's not. I don't think he's the mayor. Whatever he is.
Noble.
I'm pretty sure he's supposed to mayor like.
Sir Topham Hatt, motherfucker, is distracted, which means he won't give you a pass to enter the desert, which is where we suspect Eggman is.
Yeah, they don't just let anyone wander through these mystical portals.
Yeah, apparently, are the citizens using these mirrors to travel around?
Huh. I guess so.
Also, why do you need a pass to enter a desert? Why is Sonic bothering with customs and immigration? He's Sonic.
Yeah, you can just zoom.
Yeah, but yeah, that's that. So we're going into the desert, but we are actually not starting with the stage here. We are starting with a cutscene and then a boss fight.
Yeah, they just cut right to Sonic finding Elise. They skip over everything before that.
Yeah, she is being held in this desert ruins prison cell. I guess Eggman turned it into a prison cell, maybe? Why? I don't know. Why did he stop here? Who knows? But she has a flashback to her dad telling her to never cry. That's not good. That's abuse.
It's true.
Like when your parents are like, "I'll give you."
Ooh.
Well, let's stay off that topic for now. Don't worry, we'll come back to it later.
Oh my god.
Sonic and Tails arrive, and there's actually a bit of animation I like here, because Tails, like, leans on one leg and does this little wavy thing that's almost kind of cute. But they're like, oh, we're here to save you, but oh no, we didn't see the cell's guard coming in somehow.
Eggman's a very stealthy guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we didn't see the giant robot dog for one thing, but also Eggman just friggin' teleports behind you. Like, he just appears here. Was he there before?
That's so threatening. Just have Eggman teleport behind you.
It's gonna give you some fried chicken.
That'd be like him eating his own face.
No, Eggman has a long history of eating eggs. What are you talking
Actually,
about?
no, that's true. He does.
Anyway, Eggman is here, and he says he wants to use
The flames of disaster!
Whatever those are, and then he says, kill him, big dog.
Sick 'em boy.
Boss.
So after everything you've done up to this point, are you excited for a boss?
No.
Yeah.
I think at this point, again, because I've played the game before, no, I was not excited for this boss.
Yeah, this is the Egg-Cerberus, and Cerberus had 3 heads.
Yes, he did.
It looks so bad. It's not an Eggman robot at all.
No,
Again,
it's not.
More credence to my theory that this is cosplayer.
Yeah, true.
This is Dr. Gregman.
Yeah, you know what? That's his name now.
So the gimmick here is that the robot dog runs around, and it's got a grind rail on its back, but it's way faster than Sonic. Citation needed. And you have to homing attack the grind rail on its back, because Sonic's homing attack instantly magnetizes to all rails in this game, for better or worse. And you have to ride it to the control rod on its head, and then ram it into a wall or statue to damage it.
I was gonna say the gimmick for this boss is that it's bad.
Yeah,
No, that's the gimmick of every boss.
Fair, actually. That might be the gimmick of the game.
Yeah, basically. The boss itself is fine. The problem is that the controls don't work for boss fights, or the game at all, actually, but especially for boss fights, because it's so slippery and you move way too fast, and the camera, I can't position the camera correctly, so I can never be watching the boss. So I never know where it is. And the arena is huge, but also too small at the same time.
Yeah.
I think my problem was I would get onto the rail, but then Sonic would like slide past the rod on the head.
That happens, and there's a break in the middle where its back is jointed, which means that you'll fall off one rail, and if you're touching the stick at all, that means that you'll shoot to one side or the other.
Oh yeah, one thing that will save your life in this game a lot is don't touch the controls when it's during some bit of automation, even for a short period.
Yeah.
I also had rings sliding across the ground. I don't know if anybody else had that issue, but
Yeah, you take damage
anytime
and
I
your
got
rings
hit-
look like they're being blown by wind.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. Glad I'm not the only one who experienced.
My advice would be, here's the thing. The one good addition this game made to a camera, the one thing that this game does with its camera that's better than any other Sonic game, is if you press the left trigger, it instantly centers behind Sonic. That's actually a good addition.
Yes.
So if you abuse that makes it slightly better.
A little. It doesn't quite work, because then you have to move Sonic in the right direction, and again.
Yeah, and I mean the regular right stick control for the camera is so fucking slow. which is why you can't focus on the boss. The camera should focus on the boss naturally, but
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I also love having to wait for bosses to make their move.
Sonic Rush.
Welcome to Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, I'm about to say we've
Sonic
talked about
Superstars.
that already.
Sonic Adventure 1.
The way this
God.
boss is structured is not at all unusual for this series.
No, but it is
Yeah.
still painful.
Oh yeah.
True.
Though, as usual, saving grace, both the cutscenes and the boss here are the originators of the Eggman Empire Anthem, which is a recurring track for the series. It's actually a leitmotif.
Mm-hmm.
It was so good it ended up in one of the movies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you ram it into the wall or statues. Statues do double damage, by the way. I probably should have told you guys that before we recorded.
I think you did tell me that while I was playing it.
I should have said it in the info channel. Anyway,
Man.
but it gets harder to control with each hit, but it's mostly just more time as long as you're not wasting. So yeah, that's that boss fight. So we're running away. It's the robots are coming, and this is the "how long is this gonna go on" scene. Too long, Sonic.
I love the robots.
Yeah, they're not animated at all. They just slide.
I don't even think they have like any like going behind them to jetpacks or anything. They're just
It might be blocked by the sun, but maybe.
maybe the sun, like the bloom on the sun is too much, so you can't see it. But I don't.
Anywho, there's too many robots here, so Tails says he'll split off to distract and lead them away while Sonic Unleashed said that while Sonic and I almost called her Unleashed. Princess Unleashed. Sonic and Elise run away. So it's time for stage 2, and oh god.
I didn't really have much trouble with this stage.
I think I only had trouble with one spot.
I dislike Dusty Desert and Tropical Jungle for the same reason, which is the carrying Elise gameplay
Okay, fair.
limits your moveset.
That's true.
And I
Does
feel
it?
like
I
that
really-
shield should protect us a lot more. Maybe that's just a me thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
well, so you can't spin dash, you can't sweep kick, you can slide, but even then later, once you get the bounce attack, because the bounce attack is a useful thing in this game, and that's not in part 1 here, but you can't use that, and that sucks when you have to fight enemies and you're just like mashing the homing attack button.
okay, maybe I'll miss that when it comes up again. But here, I wasn't really left wanting for moves.
I don't know. Instead, it gives you this right trigger energy ball thing, which the tutorial guy says by combining your power. What the fuck does that mean?
I didn't know Elise had power, but I mean, I guess she.
I mean, she
kind of
does,
is.
but does she know that?
Yeah, maybe Sonic knows it.
I don't think Elise actually knows. Like,
So Sonic knows.
Also, why is
no, I don't
why,
even think Sonic knows either. Neither
why is
one
the
of them
power
know.
of Iblis that you can walk on sand?
That's pretty lame power.
Also, what is the entire desert a quicksand? Except it's not quicksand because you don't sink in the sand. You just fall through it like it's not there.
It's just a texture that was just.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, basically.
And yeah, it does technically damage enemies, but it doesn't protect you. It doesn't push them away, so you'll use it and then run into an enemy and take damage anyway.
Yeah, that's what I meant. It's
Yeah.
just like, all right, it damages the enemies, but it also damages.
Yeah, so you mash homing attack is what you do.
Yeah. No, I know. It's just like some points I'd accidentally like run into something, or like something would just like appear out of nowhere and smash into me, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I had the
Yeah.
shield up. Why didn't that keep me safe?
But so there are things that I do think make this stage better in that you know, there's no loading screen in the middle of it like Wave Ocean. You only have one set of mechanics. And, you know, this does introduce us to the fact that this is one of the redeeming factors. Sonic 06 has very broad level design. There are a lot of different ways you can go through this. And
I'll take your word on that.
I was
didn't
gonna
feel
say
like
Well,
I've
I mean-
only ever done the one path. I think.
Yeah, same.
you can see a lot of
Take your
different
word
paths.
on
I
that.
bet you two took different
I-
paths that you think are the one path, but, you know,
I mean, it's
there's
entirely possible.
there's a corkscrew loop, but you can also light dash through that. There's a place that you can use the A button mashing jumps, but you don't necessarily do that if you don't get up to an upper area first. You can actually run right across the desert in certain points. I don't remember if it's Project 06, but there's a speed shoes pickup that makes it so you can actually skip a bunch of the desert by just using the thingy.
I did appreciate falling off the side of the stage, and then the shield allows me to actually just get back anyway.
Yeah.
As long as you have the you can go on retractable platforms, or you can just ignore it because you can stand on the retractable edge
Yeah.
even when it's retracted.
Yeah, I realized that.
That's a good one.
So this level design in a game with really good core mechanics, I would be a fan of. It's also not too long compared to Wave Ocean, so
That's true. That's
No, I would say overall it's a more tolerable stage than Wave Ocean.
yeah.
it's all right. Music's not as good. It's all right, but it's like it's not very memorable.
I really like it actually. It's nice and chill.
Oh yeah. Okay. I think it's just that like I can't really hum it per se. Although actually, when other characters go in this level, there's a different track in the indoor areas, and I do like that one. So yeah, that one's. I still don't like the Elise gameplay, but it's something at least. Anyway, welcome to Windows XP.
Seriously, how did they get here from the desert?
I don't know. I don't know where this is.
Soleanna has just a very vast biome. It's like Minecraft.
Just giant
yeah,
English
of course.
countryside out of nowhere.
Yeah. But no, this cutscene, I don't know how as a child I thought it was like the best looking thing in the world. Because Elise looks like she's made out of plastic. Her
Yeah.
hair is made out of plastic. Like it looks really.
There's two types of CG in this game. There's the blur CG with their models, and then there's Sonic Team doing CG with the in-game models, and it looks bad. It's like oily,
Yeah.
oily.
God.
and it's not animated any better than the others. So it's like you've got this realistic lighting. I guess the grass looks okay here in the Bliss desktop, but yeah, it's not great, and it's really weird. Sonic was apparently injured in the fight, and Elise is like, "Oh, let me patch you up." But there's literally no indicator of the damage because he's a dude in a mascot suit. So
The
I
ring
love
count is a
the-
little lower than before.
yeah,
I love the little arm flailing animation that Sonic does. When he's like, "Oh yeah, it's nothing."
yeah.
Silly.
And also, she clearly looks at his hand or maybe his wrist, and then the bandage is just like a little tie on his shoulder. So Elise is like, "Oh, I'm sorry you got hurt," and Sonic is like, "Smile! Don't fucking tell women to smile, Sonic.
No, he's gonna break your bones if you don't smile.
You're not cute, Sonic. It's not a nice thing for men to do."
No, it's kind of creepy actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when I
You'd be
like
prettier if you smiled more.
yeah, exactly.
Exactly,
thank you.
exactly.
It's like you should smile, and I'm just like, I'm just trying to mind my own business.
And that's the thing, is that this is the game trying to make chemistry between them. This is like,
The game's
oh,
actually trying to. Wow.
not very well.
Because it sure doesn't seem like the game actually wants to.
Well, because that's one of the infamous things about this game, is that it attempts a quote-unquote romance between Sonic and Elise. And so having her patch up an injury and then him telling her, "Don't be sad," which I think that's what he means is "don't be sad," and that's a fine thing to say. It's just the
Sure.
phrasing of it. It's not good, though.
Because I don't remember where it says it, but it's like, yeah, Sonic doesn't like seeing sad.
Yeah, I mean, that's his character
sad is
profile says
cringe.
dislikes tears.
Yeah.
Sad is cringe.
Lauren, better or worse chemistry than Attack of the Clones?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Maybe we'll have to see the rest of the game. You don't have to decide now.
Yeah.
That is one hell of a
I'll tell you that
question.
later.
I'm curious to hear your answer now. Oh,
Yeah. At least-
Also, Sonic made Elise run in heels on.
yeah. What a bastard.
Yes, he did.
That's a son of a bitch.
Romance. But hey, we are at least interrupted by a lore dump about the sun god Solaris that will destroy the country if they don't pay a tribute with the festival we saw at the start.
Ah, yes. We have a vengeful god.
Yeah. Apparently there was a unclear disaster 10 years ago that did something that created
The flames of disaster!
and killed Elise's father, and Eggman wants to harness that power. So yeah, and yeah, that's the part where Sonic makes Elise run. He says, "If you have time to worry, then run from your problems."
I mean,
Sonic,
that is a Sonic thing to do.
Yeah, but sometimes Sonic, we shouldn't run from him.
Well, Sonic doesn't run from his problems; he runs toward them and around them.
It depends on the problem.
He
If it's
finesses
something
around his
that you can
problem.
attack
I
head
suppose
on, yes, but it's
Sonic
not
runs from
never.
Amy, and Amy is the problem of he's afraid of intimacy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, now we're back at town just because reasons.
Well, they eventually found the portal back, but I don't know why they had to go to Grassland first.
Yeah.
Because that's where the closest portal was, obviously.
I guess.
Anyway, here's a green energy ball.
Yeah.
Sonic jumps out of the way in slow motion. Meet Silver, everyone. This guy is trying to save the future by killing Sonic the Hedgehog. He's like Future Trunks, but stupid.
I was gonna say
UFO noises when he floats down.
Yeah, he does have the fucking Jetsons car noise as he lowers to the ground.
That's yeah.
I cannot help but laugh as soon as Silver shows up and is like, it's the Iblis trigger.
He's trying so hard to be cool, but he's just kind of lame.
Yeah, that's it. We got it in one. That's his character.
Basically, yeah.
You guys are just gonna bully Silver the entire time.
He's lame.
The
in this
game does.
Sorry. Yeah, it's true.
The game wants him to be the new Shadow the Hedgehog. He is not Shadow the Hedgehog.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Well, yeah, no, because they saw how popular Shadow was, and like, oh crap, we want another one of him.
We gotta make another edgelord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was still the mid 2000s. Edgelords were still cool.
Now they're making a comeback.
They are.
Yes, indeed. Including Shadow.
Yes.
No, for this entire boss fight, all I felt was fear. Fear for my life. Fear
It's
for my
dog
sanity.
shit. It is not a good fight.
I think the scariest thing is when you see Silver in like the lower corner of the screen, because it's just like he's right behind me.
Yeah. Well, and this is another. You know, with the Egg-Cerberus, you had room for trial and error. You know, it's not a good fight. You don't have any room
for trial and error in this fight. Silver will just murk you if you're not careful.
The thing you're supposed to do,
like, choke slam you into the table.
You're supposed to run in circles, tracing the perimeter of the arena until you get an audio cue that Silver is picking up some chairs or whatever to throw at you, and then you attack him during that animation before running away. Sounds simple. Game does not tell you that if you attack him head on, he will always net you and it's no use, followed by him slamming you into the wall or the ceiling of the arena or the invisible barrier keeping you in. Yeah,
it didn't matter here, but this is where I got multiple game overs. It was way more frustrating than I remembered it being, because I'd done this long time ago. Yeah, it's a very small arena, so it's hard to keep your distance.
Yeah, that's a very common thing, or so I've been told. For people who are like first playing this game or haven't played it in a while, is like this is the part that really makes or breaks people a lot of the time.
Yeah, well, and it's real easy to get stun locked as part of it. In fact, I don't know if it happened to any of you guys. Did not happen to me, but I've seen it. You know, you can get stuck in a corner, and if he gets you in a corner and he's getting you for the first time, so you still have rings, you can get the same ring bouncing back into you over and over, and that's a soft lock.
I saw that.
Yeah, that is kind of amusing. This fight also doesn't really respect your time, because Silver says, "It's no use," and there's a long pause, and then, "Take this!"
Yeah. He also, I've not done this personally, but I've seen it, is he can get you outside the area collision, which means that you can run away if you want and just explore the entire area, because of course this game loads the entire world for the boss fight. That's part of the reason loading screens are so long. And I have both... I've seen people get shot into the skybox and into space. I've also seen Silver somehow escape the arena and chase you around the hub world.
Oh God!
6 becomes a real horror game.
It's a freaking Gary's Mod Next bot.
Oh my God, that's terrifying. I love it.
And that really is the Terminator, because when Silver doesn't have anything to pick up, all he can do is run at you. But I've never personally gotten any of that to happen, so...
Neither have I, but that sounds amazing, and now I kind of...
Yeah, that sounds wild.
Better to slide into him than homing attack, by the way.
Yeah, this may change later, but in casual gameplay, it doesn't... Like, you get the bad optimization, and you get, like, the sort of weird controls and stuff, but you don't get, like, the real good bugs unless you're really looking for them in this game.
Yeah. So, Sonic wins, but actually he loses for plot reasons.
It was so hilarious. Yeah, you worked so hard to finally beat him, and then no, you actually lost.
Yeah, it's like the adventure games, when you have a character fight like that, it'll have them, end in a tie, and that's fine because it wants the characters to be on similar levels to each other generally. This game wants you to believe that Silver is stronger than Sonic.
which I call bullshit on.
Yeah, I don't.
Well,
believe it at
we'll
all.
especially see that once we have to play as him. But yes, so you win but you lose, which is also a thing in Xenoblade 2 now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, so Silver is about to straight up kill Sonic, but is interrupted because Eggman kidnaps Elise again. Oh hey, there's that sound again.
I thought it was actually Amy that stopped.
Well,
Yeah, I thought
so
it was Amy.
what happens
It's
is
both of them.
Eggman kidnaps
Oh.
Elise, Sonic gets up to chase them, and then Silver slaps him again and goes, "Don't you dare turn your back on me!" No hate to Pete Capella, by the way. I'm sure he's a decent guy, and I respect that he has a fucking Silver the Hedgehog crucifix necklace that he wears to fan events. I hate his voice acting in this game.
Fucking what?
Oh yeah, I'll flash it on screen. It's a real thing that somebody gave him, I think.
That's incredible. Okay.
But yes,
Oh.
it's that point that Silver's about to kill Sonic, and then yeah, a random Amy Rose appears.
Once again, she's mistaken another hedgehog.
No, that's not here. That's not here.
I know it's not here, but we can immediately assume that's the.
But yeah, she's in Soleanna. That one I can kind of expect because this is Dark Age 2000s Amy, and she would follow Sonic fucking everywhere.
Oh yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
But Sonic says, "Thanks, Amy," and then he runs off, and we are dumped back into town 10 feet away, and you can just stand there, and you can even go back to the arena, and there's just nothing there.
Yeah, Silver really should spawn again and kill you or something.
Oh yeah, you shouldn't have come back, and they just killed you instantly.
Yeah, this is my arena. This is my randomest shit tables and chairs.
Yeah.
His home now.
So the princess.
building a fort out of the tables and
So the princess is kidnapped, Eggman is heading over New Soleanna City, and Sonic is the only one that can save her. So what are the guards doing? Fucking blocking your way to New Soleanna City.
God.
And you have to play this stupid-ass guessing game where you figure out who the captain is, and it's literally the first guy you talk to.
It is the stupidest guessing game because I think it. I think you explained it as most people don't even realize it because they push through the dialogue and they accidentally get it.
That is hilarious. I didn't think about that, but yeah, that
Yeah,
would work.
Yeah, no, I think Devin mentioned that while I was playing the game. I'm like, huh, damn, I wish I'd done that because I think I took me like 3 tries because the other two people here were being actually no, I think I actually requested you guys to not tell me.
yeah, I was like, I think I was asking Devin to not tell you because I was like, I want to see him figure this out.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I actually figured it out. I think Devin just told me.
So yeah. I
Yeah.
think you just got
It's
to the point where we're
it's
kinda holding
stupid.
your
It's a
hand.
stupid mini game. Why did you even bother?
Yeah.
I mean, it shouldn't have been required in, breaking up the gameplay.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is the charmingly stupid NPC stuff that I kind of like. This guy just being like, "You got to find the captain." By the way, I'm the captain. But I just don't like you because I don't know. It's never explained. But I just don't think you're the one to save the world.
And who is you? You're not standing. You're standing around jerking off. Who cares about you? Some fucking guards. Yeah, Eggman's not kidnapping Elise. He's saving her from this.
Yeah.
Piece of shit. Anyway,
Save her from the game.
anywho, Tails contacts us psychically. He seems to talk inside Sonic's head.
He put a chip inside of his head.
You know what? I wouldn't put past Tails. Sure.
Oh. But he says Knuckles is looking for us in New City. Why is Knuckles here now?
Because
Contractual obligations. Yes, I know, but
I was trying to come up with an actual reason, but my
well, there's no plot reason. Knuckles is the one of the most not belonging in this game characters ever, because he should be off guarding the Emerald. Even in Heroes, they at least mention the Emerald exists, and in Shadow, there's a friggin' alien war going on. Nothing like that's happening here. It's just Sonic and Eggman doing shit as usual. Ugh. Anyway, so New City is fucking huge, and if you don't know to just run to the warehouses by the coast, you'll get completely lost because everything looks exactly the same.
Oh well, don't forget there's crates in the new city.
Yes, this is also the part where you can take a box into space. I will put footage of that up on screen while we're doing this because we'll probably stand here discussing for longer than it takes to do it in the game. But that's a fun bug. Just keep sweep kicking on top of the box, and you get the Sonic Space Program.
Yep, you can break the skybox.
I must say, I don't like the inconsistency of the game's rules. Most places there are guards, and where they stand, there's an invisible wall. But in front of the warehouse, no, just jump right past them.
Yeah.
Most places, if they're going to give you combat gameplay, will require you to do it through a mission, and this just starts. That's not as big a deal, but it's still annoying. And yeah, you have to fight a bunch of enemies, and it's really annoying because the camera keeps getting stuck on things.
I think I encountered a fake at some point.
What, you couldn't collect it?
Yeah, it just, like, Sonic would collide with it, and it just slid away.
Weird.
That's cool.
Okay,
I love
interesting.
fake in this game.
Yeah.
I like that when the game chugs and lags, the timer does not.
Oh god. Yeah.
And it's introduced, I believe, for the first time in this little mini game are some actual Eggman robots. They're like Rhino robots from Angel Island here.
Oh,
Rhino
yeah.
tanks, yeah, from Angel Island. They're also in Sonic Adventure 1, I believe.
No,
so
I meant in this game.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's at least something. Is this also where we get the first big chunky robots?
I
Oh,
believe.
the missile
no.
wrist
No, they
knockoff?
were in
No,
Dusty
those are
Desert. You're right.
Desert, yeah.
Were they?
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, the mini map can show you where some of them are, but it's not as helpful as it should be. Yeah, that's combat. It's no different from usual though. Was Knuckles just standing here with these robots?
I think so, yeah.
Uh.
You standing, like, at the back,
Eesh.
closest to the,
Yeah. So yeah, he's here to deliver a holographic trading card message from Eggman. No reason to participate, no motivation. He doesn't know what's going on. He's just here.
Why did he even have this?
How did Eggman even get a hold of him?
Yeah, well, I mean, if he's on Angel Island, that's easy.
Why did he agree to do what Eggman wanted? They don't say like, oh, Knuckles got tricked, and even if they did, Knuckles isn't tricking. He's not doing anything bad. It's just weird. But yes, Eggman's message offers a trade of Elise for the Blue Emerald. That doesn't make any fucking sense. And
Yeah.
true to form, Tails is like, this is a trap, and Sonic's like, yeah, but we're doing it anyway. But it's like, why would Eggman even make it? How stupid do you think Sonic is?
I mean,
He's pretty stupid.
yeah.
Well, we'll see that in a second, but yes. It's like, Sonic's like, I'm going anyway, and they play it up like, oh, he's got some kind of plan. When they finally get there, no, he just walks right into the trap and it works.
Yep.
Yeah, there's something really funny. I don't know about the delivery of the line when Tails is like, no, you can't go, and then he's like, I'm going.
Yeah.
Also, there's a great bit of animation when Sonic tosses the tablet back to Knuckles, and Knuckles like isn't expecting it and totally fumbles and drops it.
And then stomps on it.
Yeah.
I always get weirded out by that, because when Sonic throws it, it really, like, it doesn't carry any kind of noticeable arc. It just floats to him. It's like throwing a paper airplane. But yes, we are going to navigate to Eggman's base, which is, again, obtuse if you don't already know where to go. You fight some enemies in front of a cave.
I think this one also just kind of shoves you into, like, the combat mission.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It just kind of starts, and you're just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's weird, because it's like, it's a cave with, like, then it's a building inside the cave, and there's, like, labs. Like, I don't know if you guys went in the door, but there's a room with a portrait of Elise in it and, like, a weird science equipment on the ground.
I did not see that.
Yeah, I don't think I did either.
Shadow and Rouge come through that thing as a teleporter later, but that's still not explained what it is, because it's not a gun thing, because gun doesn't have a presence here. It's just weird. Anywho, at the end of the normal hallway is the portal to our next stage. It's White Acropolis, ice level. No ice physics, thankfully, but some other problems. Namely, it starts with a snowboarding section, just like Ice Cap in SA1, and let's be honest, snowboarding wasn't amazing in SA1. I didn't know it could be worse, though.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
So, it pushes forward automatically, but rather than speeding up and slowing down depending on the slope, it just stops if you hit an angle it doesn't like.
Yeah.
And also sometimes it just stops. You have to always hold the control stick forward to make it go. And you also don't time your jump off. I mean, you do time your jump off ramps, but you don't just press the button. You have to awkwardly charge up a jump. I guess kind of like Riders, but somehow way worse. It's about half a second less responsive than you think.
Yeah.
It's not fun. It's jank.
This level for me was just like a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah. I mean,
I got lost a couple times, but
It's a level.
yeah.
Well, good for you. Yeah, there is a jump at the very end of the snowboarding section
Yes.
that took me many tries to do.
Yes.
If you can't time the leap to get the boosted distance, then you're just gonna fall and die and have to redo a whole bunch. It's great. Also, the designers don't seem to understand if the camera is facing behind you, you can't see obstacles in front of you. How are you supposed to dodge them?
Yeah, that's really annoying when you got the big snowball chasing you and you're going down and you can't really see the slopes or terrain. So, not a great section. The rest of the level is, yeah, kind of boring. It's mostly flat terrain with enemies, the occasional laser gate. I like the switch that takes down the laser gate that is placed before the trigger where Tails tells you to find the switch. So you can, like, break through the ice, hit the switch, jump out, and hear, there should be a switch somewhere!
Yeah, this stage has a very bad case of which way is forward.
It is just like a very big open.
Especially toward the end.
I got lost one or two times.
If you don't know where to go, then yeah, it's very easy to get lost.
Yeah. There is a pretty linear tail section right in the middle, where you have to, well, the game wants you to go into first-person mode and throw dummy ring bombs at these searchlights, because they spawn more enemies if they see you. You just fly over them. It's not hard at all.
Yeah,
Get
just
caught
like...
and then fly away from the enemies anyway.
Yeah. And yeah, you can basically just ignore everything until you get back to Sonic. And yes, this final section is just a big, like, sandbox area. It's really weird. It's wide open, and I guess you could call it really freeform level design, but it's too flat for my liking, and it also covers up different potential paths with laser gates, so it's not as open as it could be.
Laser gates that you don't see until you're right in front of them because of the culling.
Woo! Draw distance! Sonic Frontiers joke goes here. Yeah, it's not a great section, and also your best path is to go up and around a slope, fight some enemies, and then get shot onto this very high up and angular rail at the top. It has like a hard 90-degree turn, and Sonic just snaps to it, which looks weird.
Yeah, it doesn't make logical sense.
You jump across some terrain, you get one of few wall running sections in this game, and get to the end. It's not one of my favorite levels.
The first section is with the snowboard is terrible. After that, it's not great, but at least it's fine enough to go through once you find where you're supposed to go.
So, Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles arrive to get Elise for the Emerald, but the trap they were walking into turns out to be a trap.
What?
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Sonic acted like he had a plan, but no. They just do exactly what Eggman wanted. He gives up the Emerald and just lets Eggman do his thing. Like in SA2, it would be one thing in SA2, to put the Emerald down, but then, he tricked us by bringing down the trap. But if Sonic put down the Emerald and then, like, saw the button and saw Eggman walk over to it slowly and then put the capsule down, that's what this is like.
I do love his little strut as he makes his way over to the button, though. I don't know.
Yes.
This looks so diabolical.
And I do love his animation as he, like, swings his arm up in the air and over. It just makes the suspension of disbelief so stupid. He presses a button that sends everyone flying into the time vortex.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's no logic to this because, like, Eggman had them right in, like, a little room, right? He could have, killed them with any number of ways. Instead, he's like, I'm gonna send them through time, which, I didn't perfect this yet, so I don't even know where they're gonna end up. This will certainly not come back.
I mean, he's using them as guinea pigs. That's at least something, but it's not wise if you want to actually succeed. Should have teleported them to the death dimension. But at least claps her hands together again, and Eggman's like, I won't have true mastery over time and space without your
Flames of disaster!
And then she clasps her hands again a third time. And we still don't really know what any of this means. It's like it's trying to do explaining my plan, but it's all mostly stuff we already know and still have not elaborated on. But that doesn't matter. Sonic and friends arrive in a hollowed out husk of this same base. So that's weird. And they walk out to a destroyed cityscape that is not New Soleanna. This is a different place.
Yeah, we're just in a city now.
Yeah, but it's all fire and brimstone everywhere. And who is going to show up to explain the post-apocalyptic future but Shadow and Rouge? Hi guys. What do you do? Yeah. We both ended up in the same part of the same future by complete coincidence.
Yeah.
But so Shadow's like, yeah, this place was destroyed by something for some reason, but we can get home with chaos control. But this needs more than just my powers, so we need to team up. And the translation gives us that line where he goes, yes, but that alone is insufficient. And it like zooms in, and Jason Griffith's doing his most epicest movie voice ever, but it's a really lame line.
All right, Shadow. Looks like we're gonna have to work together.
And it's ironic because they say, well, work together, and then they split up.
To find the chaos.
Yeah. But so, it's Crisis City. It's the famous stage.
This is where I started crashing out.
Yeah, my first note here is life systems are actually the worst.
Yes. Come
Yes.
to my side.
It is long. It is relatively difficult.
Yeah, when you have infinite lives, it's fun.
Is it really fun? I don't believe that.
Fun is a relative term.
Okay,
it is
positive.
more enjoyable.
Positive words first. I like the aesthetic. I like the music.
Looks
I
cool.
think that this is a type of level that Sonic has never done before, and I love the track because it's just dramatic and it's crazy and edgy.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I do like this. This is actually like a good sort of mixing up of what you might expect in a Sonic game. Yeah, in this stage, you don't fight robots; you fight like fire demons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They fight just like the robots, but that's fine.
Well, I don't expect that much.
Yeah, it made sense that this was the one that got into Generations, even though that game has way too many cities in it already. But as for the gameplay, well, we start with another boarding section because City Escape.
Oh my gosh, I hate this.
This one is way harder than the last because it is full of trial and error explosions from underground and death pits. Makes you much more aware that, like with the Mach Speed sections, you can't control the board's jump angle in midair.
I feel like it's gonna be a crime for me to say I actually found it pretty easy.
Well, I mean, I know how to do it now, you know, and I've played lots of Project 06 where it's slightly fun, only slightly.
I think even like when I first played 06, like didn't have too much difficulty with Crisis City until the Mox Bowl, which I'm guessing.
Damn,
Yeah,
Tails over
I
here
know.
flexing on us.
I'm
Well.
a real gamer.
I just can't do those jumps with the board off of ramps. I don't
I
know.
hate the charge jump. It's so
That's fair,
unresponsive.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's that part. The real level is a little bit more interesting. Yeah, you got fire monsters to fight, burnt up city to explore. You get some decent level design on display, including some actual platforming. It does clue you into the fact that this game has no rail switching system. You just have to manually jump between them.
Oh my gosh, it's so bad. I usually like the grinding on rails in Sonic games, but no, without
Same.
that, it becomes so
slows
hit or
it
miss.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also weird because you can't, you know, we got rid of rail crouching in Shadow the Hedgehog where it just mash buttons. This one expects you to tap the button with a slight rhythm to gain speed on rails, except it gives you so little that you'd be remiss for thinking there's just no way to speed up at all.
Yeah, I didn't think.
Yeah, it may as well be nothing.
But I mean, that's kind of a minor thing.
Yeah.
By and large, but until the Mach Speed section, it's not a bad stage.
It's okay. There's stuff here and there. I don't love all of it. Like, you know, the first city level is fine. There's a lot of automated sequences. There's a lot of glass exploding for some reason.
That
Because
makes
that's cool.
systems chug.
Yeah. Let's see. Do I,
I don't
have
know
anything
about you guys
special to
running
say?
the emulators. The glass exploding drops the 5 frames.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
There's a
think I had any
couple-
major.
There's one automated section that I always remember because it has Sonic running through a building that, like, the camera zooms back from outside, but you can clearly see there's a line of rings there, and Sonic runs past them every single time.
Yes.
God.
And it frustrates me to no end. I'm like, dude, we need rings.
There's no way to
Why?
get those rings.
God.
You also have the floating platform tornado section.
That's not too bad either.
It's not
Yeah,
awful.
it's no real problem.
I don't like that they bob up and down. It makes it feel like I can't reliably jump between them. Allegedly, this was a thing that got cut. Allegedly, there was going to be a bit here where Shadow gets blown around in the air and you have to save him.
That's odd.
It is really weird, and that's a funny visual to imagine, but hey, that would have actually been, hey, we're working together. So that would have actually implied that. But no, it's Cosmic Fall jumping between bobbing debris. But all of that does not compare to the Mach Speed section, which is simultaneously the most pure in the game, in that it's a straight line with obstacles to dodge, and the most bullshit in that it constantly flings stuff at you, and you have to have kind of insane reflexes to not trip on it.
There's also the two pipes that are like almost one after another, so you really have to like time the jumping with that.
You have to jump over both
Sonic
of them.
just goes, Sonic goes like flying 5 feet if you jump just once. So it's like you have to tap it. We have to jump way in advance, land behind the first pipe, and then immediately jump again to clear the second one.
Yeah, in my like countless number of deaths here, I eventually gave up on doing that because the problem was I would just screw it up every time, and half the time I would then end up jumping off the side, and so it would just kill me outright. And it was like, no, I'll just eat it. I'll just lose all my rings. I just have to accept it.
The secret to a lot of survival in Mach speed sections is the light speed dash. Because if you use it on the rings that are just on the road, they'll usually straighten out your angle a little bit. I'm pretty sure the two pipes actually has a line of rings over it, so if you can hit that, that'll be a reliable way to survive as well.
To try that next time.
I'm not going to make you play it more.
No, I mean in a different Mach speed section.
Oh yeah. Well, you'll also get a chance because it's like I keep saying, Project 06, trying not to focus on it too much. We will talk about that on the show eventually, just not now.
Sure.
Yeah. Here's something about this Mach speed section that maybe you guys didn't even notice because it's very subtle, but it's one of the many subtle ways this game fucks with you.
Okay.
The camera swings. There's one different part where the game changes to a background view. There's a camera swing where it goes from behind Sonic to in front of Sonic, and you have to dodge whatever it's throwing at you, and that obviously means that it changes Sonic's controls a little bit. And this messes with me every single time, because when you start it, before the running toward the camera section, the camera will turn with Sonic, so you're turning both Sonic and the camera when you move the stick. In the second section, after the running in front of Sonic section, the camera does not turn, it stays at a fixed position, but Sonic still turns, so you see him turn without you.
You're just saying it's a visual goof.
Well, it disorients you.
I always get disoriented when the camera suddenly flips.
I mean, it's all disorienting, but that's a really subtle thing that got me killed a bunch of times when I first played this game. So, bad section. Long level.
I mean, I could go on. It's still impossible to dodge when the camera's behind you. The obstacles are like the falling debris is random, right? It's not set the same way, or at least it feels that way.
It's hard to know. I mean, this was the first Sonic game to have object physics. And, because everybody was doing that around this time, because Half-Life 2 wowed the world. So I would be shocked if they would reliably move the same way each time. That seems almost impossible to me. So they may as well be random.
Yeah, it really felt like luck whether I was able to keep my rings at any given point or not. And then, of course, the game still lags, so it feels like a rubber band at certain points, and the culling really doesn't help. You just have to memorize the way everything's placed. But yeah, it's just terrible.
Yeah, bad section, long level, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If this was at least at the start of the level, that would make it a little better. Putting it at the end and having to redo the whole thing.
Yeah. So, Sonic Tails Knuckles, walk through a hallway.
We missed something. Kayla wanted to bring it up earlier.
It's so silly. Just Knuckles falling over during that cutscene. Like, because whoever's doing the mocap for him just, like, gave up and just flopped over.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really funny. I didn't even notice that. My bad.
Yeah, it cracks me up every single time.
That's good. But anyway, so they walk through a hallway, and behind a door see Silver and Blaze the cat, who is in this game, talking to some guy who looks kind of like Shadow.
But he doesn't have a mouth.
Yeah, we've got one thing that Mephiles doesn't. Hope? No, mouths.
I will say, I kind of respect the absolutely bizarre choice. Like, they can still talk just fine, but it's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mr. Mysterious, whose name I definitely didn't just say, he says that killing Sonic will save the world. Or rather, killing this guy. Hey, Sonic, you want to say hi to your friend Blaze, whom you know?
That's true.
Yeah, Blaze is literally like, wait, did you say a blue hedgehog? It's probably nothing.
Yeah, and we're going to get more into this in Silver's playthrough. Sonic 06 is set after Sonic Rush, and it always has been, guys.
Right.
But no, Sonic does not go say hi to them. The three of them just time travel away through basic movie maker editing. They just pop out. Actually, wait, is this the pop outs? The time travel effects are different from scene to scene. Sometimes the models just unload, sometimes there is a flash of light. I don't remember which this is.
I want to say they just pop out.
Okay.
It'd be funnier.
Like their models just
They
like
pop
disappear.
out.
So, no idea what the hell that was about, other than I guess now we know why Silver tried to kill Sonic. But even then, we don't really know. But hey, for some reason, the computers in here still work. Tails reads on the computer that apparently, a few days after the festival in the past, Elise and Eggman die in an egg carrier crash.
I don't remember that.
Well, it hasn't happened yet.
No, I don't remember that being revealed here.
Yeah,
Maybe
Tails.
I wasn't paying attention.
Tails reads the news on the computer.
Yeah.
It's like, this is awful.
This is terrible. That's the.
I thought that what they read here was that the world got destroyed or something.
That also happened. Yeah.
I think that's it. They read the article that Eggman the crash, and then like
That releases
Got set
Iblis.
on
At least
fire.
dying releases.
That's weird. I must have missed that part.
That's all right. Point is, better get back quick and stop that from happening. So now we've got an actual ticking time bomb on this plot, which I guess is a good thing.
Yeah.
But it's time travel. There's no hurry.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, here's Rouge and Shadow to gloat. They found a Chaos Emerald and you didn't because you suck. This scene is really weird, though, because we're now in Volcano Land. We're just kind of here in this burnt-up terrain that is nowhere near the city. But apparently we've got a Chaos Emerald reading for the next one. Tails can track them? Question mark, I guess?
I mean, yeah.
Why are we not doing that before? Because clearly there wasn't one here in Crisis City.
Well, true.
That's actually a very good point. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I hate the animation of Knuckles in this scene. Like, Rouge is talking about stuff, and eventually Knuckles, like, runs up because she insults him. But while she's talking in the first part, Knuckles is, like, doing this weird head bob as he walks in circles, and, like, you can see his gross lips, because I don't like the mouths in this game. Yeah, I don't know. And it's also weird, because this is where the "don't be late, same to you" happens. And they pull these angles like Shadow saying that is being really cool, but he just said "same to you." You know, I'm rubber, you're glue.
So cool.
So cool. So yeah, we do more working together by not working together. Flame Core, the last stage of part 1 of this video series, and a gigantic pain in the dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, this was mostly another nothing burger level.
It was mostly that until a specific part for me.
Yeah, there's
Same.
a specific part.
I think we all know the
this
part.
level took me like
I think we do,
13 minutes,
yeah.
though, and I'm like, why did this take me 13 minutes to
I
get
think it
done?
took me like 15 minutes.
So
I'm close to right.
I would say it's not the most unplayable, but I don't like the first part still, because everything is drenched in lava, and you're gonna be falling off stuff. There's a wall running section on the left near the start, but you pop off so easily, and you'll fall in the lava, and the lava eats your rings.
At least you can escape from it and doesn't just kill you outright. But yeah,
It's not the quicksand, yeah.
I actually noticed some of the level design here because there's a homing attack chain you can do with some enemies, and then light speed dash to a rainbow ring that lets you skip an entire platforming section over lava. I really like that, actually.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, this game has pathways, you know, it is not Sonic Forces. I would rather play Sonic Forces anyway, just because that game has some semblance of fun, but yeah.
It's fun. It's more functional.
Just mash the good parts of these games together and you'd create probably the worst story ever, but
It would certainly be a game.
anyway.
One section where you have to jump over some purple crystals, which if you fall on them, you just fall through them. It's a bottomless pit for some reason. I don't know why. But the ceiling is really low, and when you're doing a homing attack chain, you can like hit the ceiling and then just fall and die. And I don't know, it took me like 3 times to do it.
Yeah, that part's annoying. I don't think it's the first time the game has locked you in a room to fight enemies to open a door, but it does it twice and there's a lot of them, so I don't like that part.
And
I
one of
really
them has
like-
like a lot of health.
Yeah, or the enemies that have to expose their weak spot in their head. You just have to wait until it's there.
Yeah. Or the worms that burrow in the ground and you can't hit them when they're doing that and you don't know where they're going to come up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and some classic RNG. The final area of Section 1 has RNG fireballs raining from the volcano that will hit you. There's no way to predict them as far as I know. So that fucking sucks. Let's jump into a volcano and get away from all this.
I love that Sonic is just like, let's go into the volcano. So enthusiastic.
Hell yeah.
Sonic is excited for the danger. That's one of the few moments that actually shows off his personality in this game. He's such a plank of wood in most moments. And hey, you know, at least true to form, Section 2, I love Section 2's music. It's like this smooth jazz piece with like orchestral hits. It's really unique sounding, but I love it. Unfortunately, the game expects you to spend time not listening to that, but instead bumbling around in the dark for one.
Yeah, that shit's really annoying.
But I think this is the section that we're talking about, because once you get past the platforming and whatever, Sonic says, "Woo, out at last," and then you go back in. And you get to play, sorry, not get to play, you have to play as Knuckles. Right. You know,
you could skip him.
Yeah, but you can't get through the area without doing that. You can run right past him, but you have to walk into him and do his section. And you know, Sonic Adventure 1, Knuckles moveset, pretty fun. Sonic Adventure 2, Knuckles moveset, pretty much the same, but still pretty fun. Sonic Heroes, not as good. You can't climb walls anymore, but you can still do some gliding. You can still fireballs. This game is the worst Knuckles ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was excited for like... Yes! Yeah, I was excited for like 10 seconds, and then I realized, oh wait, I'm still playing Sonic 06. No, not going to be fun playing as Knuckles.
He is... Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, I don't know how to get off the wall sometimes. You just have to jump like 20 times, and the game was like, okay, now you can leave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he is extremely slow. His punches have 0 range and terrible damage. His ground shock thing is weightless and looks really weak. I bet you guys didn't even know that he has a homing attack if you hold the X button to do a weird grounded homing attack.
He has a homing attack?
Didn't know that.
Say what?
Yep, that's a move the game doesn't tell you about.
Huh.
And yes, he gets stuck on walls if you climb, if the wall is angled slightly, and sometimes even if it isn't, because your jump goes straight up, and if he jumps into a wall, he will latch onto it. So you have to... I think the strat is to pull away from the wall. I actually did not struggle that much with it, but it's not good.
Huh.
That's
Wild.
starting to flex on all of us.
Also, just want to critique the animation a little bit here. He climbs the walls with his hands flat out. That's not how it works. Knuckles climbs walls by digging the spikes into them.
Huh.
There is one nice little touch that I appreciate, which is that the big golem enemies, with Sonic, you have to hit them in their weak spot in their head, but Knuckles can just punch them normally because he's Knuckles.
Right.
Yeah. But, yes, Knuckles' puzzle here, I don't even know if I can call it that, but his thing is that he has to turn on all 5 of these lights to open the door, and they turn off if you're not fast enough. Yay!
Yep.
So, that it's not fun. You use the ground slam because that at least has an AoE, but blech. But, you know, this too shall pass. You know, the pain comes to an end eventually. You get out, go back to Sonic, just have a little bit more repeated geometry to do. That's the fucking Shadow and Heroes thing, is that you have repeated geometry in this level. You have 2 separate caves that look exactly the same. There is also a dash panel in this section that rams Sonic directly into an enemy. I don't know if you guys saw that one.
I think I did.
Almost ran into that one, but I saved it last second.
Yeah, okay. And yeah, two separate run on the wall and into the big hole tunnel segments, both of which completely irrevocably fuck the camera.
And the physics. Sonic just gets stuck on the ceiling.
Oh, that happened to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that'll happen in the scripted loops, is that if you force Sonic to stop or you jump over the dash panel, you can just run right up. You can walk up. You can just stop on the top.
Huh.
Sonic just really wants... He's actually a bat.
Oh, yes, of course.
He just really wants to be hanging from the ceilings.
Anywho, that leads into the end of the level. Not a great level. Maybe not the worst level, but not a great one.
Yeah, it's not terrible, but it's in the lower rankings of these stages we've been through so far.
It's the terrain is not interesting to traverse, even if not for the things that make it really annoying. But hey, we're done with levels for the night. That's nice. And we Well, hey, Rouge found a Chaos Emerald. Don't touch it!
Of course.
Have we brought up annoying Sonic phrases to GMV on this video series yet?
I don't think so.
All right, it's a classic video from Lauren and I's childhood, which it's just a bunch of repeated phrases to the frigging Sonic Electronic song.
Uh-huh.
But this is the part with
Nice smile. Don't touch it. Nice smile. Don't touch it. Nice smile. Don't touch it. Find the computer room.
Anywho, Rouge does not touch it because the Chaos Emerald gets eaten by Iblis, the worst fucking boss, the boringest boss. I hate it.
Oh boy.
Okay, yeah, it is bad because it's boring, but it's not silver.
I
Took
no.
me a hot minute to figure out.
I'm gonna be honest. I think this is one of the worst boss fights we've had in a long time. This
is the Chaos 4 of this game.
Yes, that is a great way to describe it.
Yeah.
You're just supposed to
Wait a minute,
wait.
am I gonna have to fight it again?
Oh yeah, Shadow's here for a reason.
Oh no!
Yeah, I thought Shadow fought him.
Yes, the Iblis Worm, you are just supposed to stand around waiting for its long-ass attack cycles.
Yay.
Like, maybe it's a full minute between hits sometimes, maybe even more, I don't remember.
I think it's like a minute and a half.
Yeah, I think it is definitely over a minute before you can get the first hit on him. Because it knocks down stalactites, giant ones that you have to stand on and slowly make your way up to the light up rock so that it'll jump at it, hit him, and then you have to do that like 4 more times.
Yeah, and then
then you have to like wait for him to jump to the glowing rocks.
Yeah, because he will also shoot burning rocks at you, and after each hit, he will drop extra stalactites to destroy the paths you took before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you just had to wait initially, it wouldn't be as bad. You also better be careful because it's got a little bit of egg viper in its blood here as you try to homing attack when you're right in front of it, and you may just miss and fly through its head.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, and even when you do land a hit on it, Sonic also jumps all the way up to the ceiling and lands all the way back down to the back and hits a spring that launches him all the way about halfway up, and then he lands, which is just more friggin' waiting.
Yeah, if you do this boss perfectly, it takes 5 minutes.
If you do this boss perfectly the way it's intended, all of this motivates me to cheese it because you can just damage boost and walk on the lava.
Yeah.
And because Sonic's homing attack defies gravity, you can just hit the light up rocks from the lava. You can just jump at them.
Oh, I tried that and I couldn't reach them. That's interesting.
You can't get the center one, and you do. I think you have to wait for at least one batch of extra platforms to spawn first, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
But that also leaves you vulnerable because it means that when Iblis jumps at you, you're going to have to do a sort of circle jump because you have nothing to stand on to get away from him. So your mileage may vary on what's the best strategy. I always cheese it because I don't feel like fucking waiting.
That's fair.
So that sucked.
Yeah.
How you guys liking Sonic 06 so far?
I'm loving it. I'm so down to continue.
I mean, yeah, I think it's just gonna keep being a fucking ride.
Oh yeah.
I feel quite good that we've done this so far. We have gotten 2 hours out of this recording, which is crazy to me, but also feels like a good length for something like this. It makes me very, very glad that we're splitting these episodes up.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine doing the entire second half of Sonic's story tonight.
No.
No.
No, I am kind of glad it's broke. I mean, granted, I've beaten Sonic's story at this point.
I've done the whole game. That's fine.
Yeah, I have a little bit of theme room, but
that was never a possibility. I'm saying this is why we're not.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is messy, it is unpolished. There are spots. It's crazy, right? Because this is the bad game. This is the sort of thing that you don't get anymore because it is the perfect combination of money, talent, and the worst possible direction. You know, the worst...
Basically, yeah.
The worst possible... Not even direction, but crunch and just time problems and having no roadmap. You know, because that's part of what people talk about with this game is that it was pushed forward by a year. Apparently it was supposed to come out in 2007, allegedly.
Oh, wow.
And of course, this game was directed by it was originally a joint direction between Yuji Naka and Shun Nakamura, and then Yuji Naka left.
Oh boy!
In the middle of development.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And never worked at Sonic Team again. And your mileage may vary because Yuji Naka, I have quite a bit of criticism for him as a person. I wish he left before they decided everything would go on one button because that's always his thing. But you know, I don't blame Nakamura particularly because he was handed a bad rap, and he did great work on. He was a huge part of Shadow Generation, so clearly he's not incompetent.
Oh yeah.
But it's like those combining factors definitely were part of the shit show. Although, to be clear, I think even if this game got an extra year of development time, it would be a polished version of still a lot of bad ideas.
Yeah,
Sure.
It would just be probably a lot more playable.
Yeah, but it's fascinating, right? This game is so interesting.
You know what? Yeah, it is. I remember like being, you know, a young impressionable Sonic fan and actually like really wanting to play this game. I thought it was like the coolest thing ever. I didn't know any better at the time. Listen,
I thought the same thing because I saw it on the Sonic Central website. I'm like, that looks so epic, and I
know. I was like, oh,
and I saw the
like all lore and stuff. I'm like a huge slut for lore in Sonic games, so I was just like, oh, this is so cool.
Yeah,
now,
and
I'm like better.
I played the XBLA Kingdom Valley demo for 10 seconds at a Sears one time. Does Sears still exist? I have no idea. But, you know, I was like, oh, this game must be so cool. And then I finally did play it because I had a friend in middle school who had the game in an Xbox, and it's like, oh.
Yeah,
Yeah, I distinctly remember, Devin, you describing the game to me before you had played it, but just what you had seen of it. And I was like, that sounds like the best Sonic game of all time. And then long time later, I was like, wait, isn't this the game that you told me about long ago? Oh, it's actually bad. Interesting.
Yeah, I think I brought you over to my house to show you how bad it was.
I think so.
Yeah, so it's something special. I am really, it's like, it's amazing how a game can be miserable to play, but that makes for so much entertainment.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Indeed.
It's like,
I don't know, like I was on the verge of crashing out, especially after Crisis City, but I was still having fun playing the game. Because if I ran into something that was game breaking, it just made me laugh. Because I was like, of course that would happen. It's Sonic 06. Like,
yeah.
Duh.
Well, and it's funny then because, you know, we've talked about plenty of games that are bad or that we don't like on this show, but it's like,
oh yeah,
you know, you go back to Sonic 2 8-bit, that game is more put together and consistent than this on almost every level. I don't want to play more of that.
It's
Yeah,
kind of weird.
good point. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with like Sonic 2 8-bit, you'd get stuck and you try over and over and you die. But in this game, when you get stuck and try over and over and die, every time run through, it's going to be a little
weird
different.
happens.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys are gonna see once we get to Shadow Story. One time, I fucked up so bad that the game gave me grace and made me not have to do a level.
Oh.
What?
Oh, I think you've mentioned that. Yeah.
You're gonna see. It's not gonna be for a few weeks though.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll look forward to hearing about this.
Yes, I think that this is an excellent start to this era of Deep Dive Zone. So,
Oh boy.
thank you guys for being here with me, and to all of our viewers, that is where we're gonna cut it off tonight. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, please feel free to share, like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, criticisms, suggestions, or feedback, you can find us in any of the links in the link tree in the description. I'm just realizing now I have to add Kayla on there.
Oh yeah.
But with all that said, we will see you next week for another exciting episode. I hope you guys had a good time with this episode. I hope you have a great rest of your night, and take care.